Hey, how's it going?
Oh, what's up, boys?
Back for another week, and you guys are probably thinking, where is TJ at?
mean,
Oh my
and
God.
what is this Zach Zook doing in the middle,
in the
leading
middle,
off the
I'm
show?
on
What
ones
the
and
hell's going
twos,
on?
Just like trying to run
Yeah.
everything back and forth.
You're doing your best Z the P impression.
I tested it before the show, and then TJ always has his computer volume on. That's what we need to actually hear things, and because you always hear his text tone going in the background, ding, ding, ding.
So you
ding.
muted that little
Yeah.
annoying feature.
So that little annoying feature is muted. But then you can't hear the intro. So
Yeah.
I think we're good now, though.
I felt like an Uber driver this
think.
morning, going up gathering material at different people's
Yeah,
houses.
Yeah.
we
to make
almost
sure.
didn't have, almost did not have any video today because TJ forgot to put the capture card. We can just blame TJ because he's not here, and
That's
so
all good.
that's kind of what we do. We blame whoever is not the person that's present. We just go ahead and blame them for everything
Absolutely.
that goes wrong.
I met him this morning. I awoke him from his slumber, and he came down to the parking lot and gave me his key to his house, and we got through and got what we needed, man.
yeah, Big Web, you were kind of just chauffeuring all around St. Louis this morning
That's
to get
right.
ready for the
That's
show.
right. Hey, it's the BOTV difference, man. Do what you got to do, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So we got a great show today. We got some good games to pick. The heavy noon slate, only 2 games in the 3 o'clock hour. But Big Web, tell us a little bit about our sponsors. We're of course sponsored by Cafe Telegraph, who has the best smoked meats in town. Come on down to Cafe T and get some smoked par fried wings, or you could go with the boneless wings. It really is dealer's choice on that one. I can never get away from the par fried. I did the boneless one week,
they're so
but I
tasty.
felt like I felt dirty when I got the boneless. So I had to,
you
I had
did
to go
them
back-
dirty.
I had to go back to
You
the
did 'em
par
dirty.
fry. But the best smoked meats in town. And Big
Coldest
Web, can
water,
you tell
too.
us about K. Roberts with Remax Gold?
Kay Roberts from Remax Gold. This is the greatest real estate agent you'll ever talk to, you'll ever hire. She's awesome. She goes the extra mile. Kay Roberts, whether you're building a home, buying a home, selling a home, she's your right-hand person. And I just can't tell you how much she works hard for us, for anybody that hires her. She becomes your friend at the end of the day. Kay Roberts, Remax Gold, 314-409-4113. And then also we have Sarah Barron, great sponsor for us from Family Finance Mortgage. Sarah helps us and anybody with home loans and different situations. You know, she'll work through like documents when you got to bring certain things for loans, and just right there with you every step of the way. It doesn't matter what time of day or night. Sarah Barron, Family Finance Mortgage, 314-537-1282. That's 314-537-1282.
And Nick, I have a hankering for some vodka. Where
Oh,
can
do
I
you?
go to get some of that?
Oh, well, I tell you what, STL Distilleries is the place to be. You can visit them online, stldistillery.com, or go to 755 Friedens Road, Suite B in St. Charles, Missouri, 63303, Zach, and they will give you the best tour and the best tasting around for free if you mention myself, Nick Yale, or TJ Weber. He's not here, or Brews on the Balcony or the BOTB football show. Tell them we sent you. Great thing to do during the holiday season. Take your family over there, take your girlfriend, your boyfriend over there, and pick up a bottle of vodka, brew vodka, distilled from craft beer, stldistillery.com.
All righty. And Big Web, Big Web told me like right before we kicked off the show, he goes, "Hey Zach, throw it to me. I got something for Nick." So Big Web, what's the
got
deal, man?
something
What's the
special.
deal?
How could your head fit in the room with the DeSmet Spartans yesterday?
Oh man, it was it was a good one. It was a pounding. I was on the road all the way out to Kansas City to Ray-Pec, and it was a throttling as usual. 37-0, going to the state championship next Saturday in Columbia. It's going to be exciting. And shout out to the DeSmet soccer team too, winning state and penalty kicks.
13 was it?
It was 11 penalty kicks. They won 11-10 in penalty kicks against undefeated Lee Summit, who was 22-0. Took them into half scoreless, full-time scoreless, overtime scoreless. Then they go into PKs, and 10 PKs.
Oh my God!
Until they finally got the job done, and the goalie stopping it to get DeSmet their first state championships in soccer since I think I was there. So
they got a shot at dual state championships, soccer and football.
Yep, and they already won baseball, so hey, they could
My
be going
God.
for the 4-peat with or 5-peat with hockey and basketball this year too. You never know.
That class is going to be all over the trophy case,
Yeah, man,
It's a rarity. Columbia, Illinois, we were in state baseball and football the same year like that, like 1 year apart.
Yeah.
It's kind of a group of athletes and they're rocking it. And this doesn't happen. This happens every 30 years,
Yeah,
40 years,
it's,
whatever. It's just rare.
It's something special, and Coach Steeple is doing a great job with those guys in the football team. I mean, they got talent all across the board, Division I talent all over the field, and what they're doing to be able to keep their head on their shoulders, and when they're getting attacked on social media and, I mean, all over the place for being the best team in state. You know, every team is trying to take them down, but it's been a fun team to watch and a fun team to follow. So hopefully, cross our fingers, they take care of business next week in Columbia, and we'll be happy alumni.
Good luck to the Spartans.
Thank you.
I tell you what, I didn't want to digress, but I figured he'd love to
Oh,
inflate
yeah,
his head
yeah.
on that one.
Yeah, and Lindenwood too. I mean, TJ.
Yeah.
TJ was at a wedding yesterday. Reason he isn't here today, but the Lions, man, they came through, and Zook, you said they beat an undefeated team.
Yeah, 11-0. Wichita Baptist, I believe, is the name
were
of the
5
school.
seed?
Number 5 in Division II, I believe.
Okay, right on.
Was the ranking there? They beat him 31-28 on
Yeah,
a
by
late field goal.
field goal.
Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
a pick to seal it because the guy threw an interception like on Lindenwood's 20
Yeah.
at the end of the game. So
And Jed got
big deal.
GLVC Coach of the Year too.
yeah.
She did. Yes,
Yeah,
she
it's
did.
been a good couple weeks for St. Louis sports. So shout out Lindenwood football. Shout out to Smet. All athletics.
we're rocking it.
We'll get into some of the storylines here. I have 2 questions I want to pose to you, gentlemen.
For sure.
And then we'll get to the crown. We'll get TJ on the phone, and we'll get to the picks. So
Spoiler alert, it's me again.
My first. His head won't be able to fit in the room for multiple reasons, Big Web.
Why did I even go there?
So the first question I want to ask you guys is, I talked a little bit about this on the midweek show, but I wanted to see what you guys thought about the Bengals being the only winless football team, and if you think that they will go winless throughout the remainder of the year. Do you think it's possible that they will become the first 0-16 team since the Cleveland Browns, and then before that, the Detroit Lions?
They got a damn good shot at it, Zach. I don't believe that any NFL team really goes out at the end of a year after you've already played 12 ball games, 13, 14 ball games, and lost every game. Oh, we got a chance at the first-round pick. Let's just lose out. I don't believe that. I don't believe that's really going on. I haven't seen the end of their schedule to see who they're up against, see if there's any beatable opponents right there. They have been doing better in the
I'll
run
look it
game.
up real quick. They do have some winnable games on their schedule, but with Ryan Finley starting at quarterback, do you think that they'll go back to Andy Dalton at any point this year?
Andy Dalton should be playing girls softball somewhere. I'm not an Andy Dalton.
There's no way they can go back to him this year.
He's just this kid's playing a little better. They got a little bit more energy. That the running game's picked up.
That's
I
the
would
thing.
not go back.
That's the thing is Joe Mixon was a terrible running back to start the year. I mean, this guy, especially in fantasy leagues, was an RB1 on most teams, even in deep leagues. Like he was, an RB1 that people wanted him to had high expectations for him coming into the year, and then he kind of had a slow start. They have a brutal offensive line there in Cincinnati, and so without Andy Dalton, though, they're starting to run the ball a little bit more, and Joe Mixon's getting more carries. So if you're a Joe Mixon fantasy owner, maybe you had him stashed on your bench for a while. Now's the time to play him because he is going to get carries, and they're going to feed the ball because, like you said, a little banged up at wide receiver at some of their other offensive positions, and Ryan Finley, is that his name?
Yeah, NC State guy a couple years ago.
Is not the I don't think the long-term answer for Cincinnati, at least at this point. I mean, we're seeing a lot of backup quarterbacks this year in the league, and that have been providing as nice stopgaps or maybe even a transition like a Kyle Allen in Carolina to the next generation, but Ryan Finley right now, passing game for Cincinnati isn't really working.
I mean, non-existent.
Yeah. So, but Joe Mixon, I think, can himself carry the team. And do I think they're going to win? And do I think they're going to, get out of that that goose egg in the win column? I don't think so, but I think it's enough to cover games. Like they'll keep them close because Cincinnati's played teams close. They've gotten blown out a handful of times, but for the most part, they're playing teams close. They just can't get over the hump.
Yeah. So you think that they can cover spreads, but you really think that they'll go 0-16?
I mean, they might get one in there.
I think they'll get
one. It's tough to go 0-16.
I think they'll get one.
Just as it's as hard to go 0-16 as it is to go 16-0. I mean,
yeah, true.
Every blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while, and so there's got to be one game that just kind of goes their way. A game where Joe Mixon has 150 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Get a couple field goals and their defense contains, not shows up, just contains, and they can pull one out. I don't know what the rest of their schedule looks like. I haven't really paid too much attention to the Bengals.
You got to pull it up too.
But yeah.
Dead clock's right twice a day. But their upcoming schedule, Big Web, you got to pull it
Nice.
up too. They got the Steelers at home today. They're less than a touchdown underdog, at least in this one. So Vegas thinks that's at least going to be competitive. Then they get the Jets at home before going on the road to take on the Browns. They return back home to face the Patriots, on the road to face the Dolphins, home to face the Browns. Really the only truly unwinnable game there, I would think, is the Pats. Any other team, and those guys are beatable.
Yeah.
And not a lot of playoff team, no playoff teams on that schedule except for potentially the Steelers today. But even at that point, you'd still probably lean no. What's interesting to me is the fact that I think the Bengals, when they benched Andy Dalton and they realized their season was down the gutter, they wanted to start Finley to see what they have. If he has any value, you can trade him, but to get the number 1 pick. Because Joe Burrow, an Ohio kid out of LSU, is probably going to be the number 1 overall selection, if not in the top 5.
You gotta believe, yeah. You gotta believe.
So it's clear that they are targeting him, I think,
Yeah.
and that they obviously want to take a quarterback. But there's this weird fine line of we want to tank for the number 1 pick, but you don't want to go 0-16.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a value play later in the season. You got to justify, again, a team like Denver with Drew Lock at quarterback, who's been on IR all season, and their season's pretty much a waste. You have teams where you have to figure out, hey, is it worth it to keep competing, or are we going to kind of throw in the towel and start playing some of our rookies and see what we have in them? Because you look at a team like the Bengals, who are in need of a quarterback, or the Dolphins is a little bit of a different situation because they can kind of plug different guys in there. But Denver, where, again, you drafted a quarterback, you drafted Drew Lock, you used a second-round pick on him, but you don't know if he's going to be the answer. Been banged up all season on the IR. A little bit of a question, is he an NFL-ready QB? Can he play under center? Some of these questions that you need to be answered, you have to figure out later in the season in week 14, 15, and 16. And is Drew Lock going to help you win football games? At this point, probably not, because he's not an NFL-ready QB, but you still have to figure out what you have in him and before you go into the draft to determine if, hey, do you want to trade up or try to go after a Joe Burrow or a Tua, even though has his injury issues with the hip going on. So that's where teams really kind of got to figure out, hey, even if we're not going to be competitive and win and make the playoffs, you got to start turning the page and looking at other parts of the team, being like, how can we help? And that might be frustrating to fans and some of the players on the team, but that's just kind of how the case goes.
Yeah, and I hear rumblings that we're going to see our true son starting in Denver here any week. And to your point, I think that
True son, baby.
Yeah, our true son.
Let's not get too deep into Mizzou here. Football season's over.
Yeah, we're on a basketball.
We're on a basketball.
Big Web, I'll pose this question to you, our second storyline. I think that the NFL is becoming more invested in the international enterprise of the sport. And I think that's been very evident. They had the preseason game in Canada. We've had the game in Mizzou now, Mizzou on the mind. We've had the game down in Mexico now for 3 straight years at least planned, I believe.
Right.
They had to move it last year because of the field, but they were back down there a week ago at Estadio Azteca. And then they've had, the 4 or 5 London games per year. Do you think that it is possible for an NFL franchise to move to London and play in London?
Absolutely, and here's why. I mean, basically, these guys are money-hungry owners. I mean, they're greedy. We all know that. They don't actually. What happened here in St. Louis, where you could sell PSLs to a market, you could make people put money out of their pocket to buy a PSL, to fill a stadium, to pay for a stadium, and you can go that route and turn cash and sell games out. You got, like Jacksonville or other places, they have struggling attendance at times, and Wembley's filling up over there. Mexico filled up that whole stadium over there. I think the newness of it, I think it'd be great money for these greedy owners. Do we want the league spread out that much? I guess it'd be okay. I mean, if you got a normal, that's not killing those guys when they go to London and play football and have a little bit longer flights and stuff. They're playing good games over there. And, so no, I definitely see it happening internationally, and it's to me it's all about the cash, and they can fill the seats.
So Nick, you're a Jags fan. What's your take on if they would potentially move the team overseas?
I mean, I think from a fan perspective, you're still going to get fans wherever you go. You're going to get fan support in any continent, in any country. And I think that's the NFL's kind of taken after the NBA a little bit and moving into, going overseas to play some games. And that's fine. But I still think it's pretty tough on the players and the coaches that have to play over there. It's a completely unfair advantage to the rest of the league to not have to deal with that travel schedule. And when you're a road team and you're doing it 1 week out of 16 or 17,
right,
that's fine. Do it. And I still think having the games in London and Mexico is a cool feature for the league. It expands their fandom to other countries, which is great. That's I think a good move by the league in doing that. But if you're asking a team to move a team over there, sure, from an owner standpoint, it's a great move. Like you make tons of money as an owner, whether it's London or Mexico or Australia. I mean, you could move a team anywhere. And for an owner, it's a good move because it's probably going to be more money for you than it would be besides like New York, LA, Chicago, Dallas, some of the bigger cities here. But if you're a team like a Kansas City, where you're in a lower market, yeah, it probably makes more sense because your revenue is probably going to be more. But for the team and for the players themselves, that's completely unfair. And I don't think it's going to happen in the near future because it just gives an unfair advantage to the rest of the league. And now if you found a team that could be successful, like you take like a Chiefs, or I'm not saying that would happen because you're not taking a successful team out of their city, so it would have to be a bad team. But if that team has any sort of success, I mean, that says more about what the team's doing than about what the rest of the teams are doing. But as far as a travel and logistical nightmare for that team, I think it's too much at this point.
I didn't think about that. I mean, the home team, the team
they have to live over there too, and
that would be tough.
Yeah, it's an unfamiliar environment, and especially if you're a team that's trying to court a free agent, forget about it. They're not going to that team. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how good you are, how much money you give them. Does a player want to play in London versus playing? They want to play 16 hours away from home, or do they want to play 6 hours away from home?
Right.
That's the answer is you would never get a big name free agency, and therefore you would never be successful.
Yeah, so that's a good point. That is one factor I didn't think about. Here's how I would do it, and it's obviously a logistical nightmare. And placing a team in London is obviously much more difficult than placing a team in Toronto or placing a team in Mexico City.
Right.
I think you could mitigate some of what you talked about, and everything you highlighted, incredibly good points. I think that you could make it so that the players have to live there 17 weeks out of the year. I think that basically you have a wasted market in Jacksonville. That's the only professional sports franchise there. I know that they have diehards just like every other fan base, but those games in Wembley Stadium sell out in like 15 minutes. So from the financial side of it, it's a no-brainer, right? We all agree to that.
Yes.
So now it's about making it fair and safe for the players and for the teams and for the league to still have that parity and make the competitive advantage even. I think what you could do is make it so that you had whatever team was in London, say the Jaguars in this case, played 4 games at home in a row, 4 games on the road,
yes.
4 games at home, 4 games on the road.
Yeah.
So you have to make the journey across the pond twice.
Right.
You could keep your facility in Jacksonville, so when you're
right.
on your 4-game road trip, you could stay at like your headquarters in the continental U.S. Practice there, and then you just fly to the game like it's any other week.
Right.
So I think
so
that
you're saying they just play the games over there and they live still in the States.
Right. So you
partially.
You basically live. You get a hotel room or a condo or whatever, a suite pad for 4 weeks while you're there in London, and you have a facility there.
Yep.
But then you kind of almost split time because you're right. And I didn't think about this. If the money's equal, nobody's picking London over the United States.
You would have to pay them way more.
So they will struggle from that perspective. And that's one thing where I think that the ownership would maybe give some pushback on. But I think it's just such a lucrative opportunity, and you see these games sell out so quickly. It doesn't matter who's playing out there. I feel like you could have a chance to turn the Jacksonville fan base, which is, like shaky at best. I mean, they don't sell out the games,
Yeah.
and I guess what I'm trying to say is it's not like a storied fan base like the Steelers or like the Cowboys or the Bears.
Exactly.
And what I think you could get honestly close to that if you moved it to London. I think that
Right.
you could win 3-4 games a year out there, and they would love you.
Yeah.
all the same.
Yeah, that's the
So-
success rate. It makes sense for the owners, but as for players and with their agents, I just don't think it would work enough for them to actually decide to make that move. For an owner, it's a no-brainer.
So-
just as an aside here, in London, I don't think there's been any problems, but the footing down there in Mexico, that turf was sliding out underneath
Terrible.
those guys. I'm surprised
Terrible.
somebody didn't get injured
Well,
down there.
last year
it was bad.
didn't they cancel the game in Mexico because the
They did.
fields were so
yeah,
poor?
I think they had like a
Same
Shakira
issue.
concert
Yeah,
there
the-
like a couple days before or something
It
like that.
was damn close to dangerous this year, a couple weeks ago.
And that's something
Yeah.
that's not going to last too long.
No. Nick responded to our conversation about that and said the hardest part about having a franchise in London will be getting players to want to live and play there, to your point, Nick. All of their family and everything they've ever known is in the U.S. Exchange rates and taxes would also be a mess.
Yeah, and that's where I read Tolly's answer there on Twitter after you put that article out, and basically that's where I kind of made my point. I was in agreement with Tolly about it being a nightmare for the players.
Yeah, for sure. So it's interesting. So let's move on to the picks. We're gonna get TJ on the phone here, but first we have to crown the winner of the week.
Yes. The
And I don't
winner
think you're gonna
of
have to
the
pass
week.
it very far.
No, I'm not gonna have to pass it very far. I don't have the music up because that's the lack of show prep when TJ's not here. TJ does everything.
Zook, go
but
ahead and
I
sing
think,
the song.
I think the show so far is running swimmingly without TJ
Yeah,
here.
it's going
I
fantastic.
think we are doing a great job.
I forget the tune. Big Web, hum it for me.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
Something like that.
Dun, 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 dun. It's a Christmas tune. It's great to be back here with my crown as a champion. I had I went on a 2-14 stretch over the 2 weeks where I was just miserable.
How's that feel? I know it.
Basement feeder there. Bottom feeder, basement feeder.
Bottom feeder.
There. And now I'm back
But you're
on
back.
top after going 6-1 last week. I don't know what you guys went. Nobody else knows.
I think you beat me by a game. Or
by
did
a
you beat me
game
by
because
2?
again, we didn't do any of the show prep that TJ normally does. Normally he has like the pick
I was-
standings and all this stuff. I just know I'm still on top, and that's all I really care about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I went 6-1, almost went 7-0.
Yeah.
And because no one's gone 7-0 yet this week, this
no,
year, have we?
Nobody's
Not
gone
yet.
7-0.
Nobody's got 7-0.
Not until next week.
You went
So-
6-1. I needed. We had a lot of the same picks, but we had different dogs. So my dog had already covered, but I
Yeah.
needed the Bengals to not cover
Yeah,
for you.
my Bengals,
But
like
your
I
Bengals
said, we
came through.
talk about the Bengals and Joe Mixon. I mean, I figured there was no chance that Oakland was going to beat them. I think it was it was 12.5. It started, I think, I guess where it opened as what we do it by. Oh no, we do it by OddsShark. So on CBS Sports it was 10.5, but then on OddsShark it got all the way up to minus 12.5. So 2 touchdowns for
Wow.
Oakland to cover at home against the Bengals, like, who played teams close, and so that one seemed like
That final ended up being like 17-10. Like they had a
Yeah.
shot to win it.
well, because now the past few weeks, I feel like beginning of the year we were kind of taking some chances, and that's where I got a little bit ahead, picking the Patriots and stuff like that. But these last few weeks, we've been kind of all on the same page, except for Big Web,
He's a wild
who
card.
continues to try to go out on an island to kind of steal ones, which has worked and not worked in different occasions. But
Yes.
I think we're back to the point, hopefully throughout the end of the season, where we're going to get a little greedy and try to make some moves at the end of the season like you have to do, because most of the past, I'd say 3 to 4 weeks, it seems like we're got a lot of the same picks, or at least 2 of us are on the same page, and so I like seeing the splits. And
Yeah, me
and
too.
I think
I will
consistency is
I will
key.
defend myself once again by saying every week we come in here and we pick the top 5 toughest
tough
games,
games,
the
tough
best
games.
ones. And
We picked
we're-
the games that like usually I'm not a fan of.
Yeah.
and we're having
Oh, I know.
we're having reasonable success elsewhere where we
Yes.
pick better matchups.
Yeah.
So I believe that's now 6 for Nick in terms of
7,
Oh,
7.
you're up to 7
Yep,
now.
this is my-
Okay,
this
so
is my
Nick's got
7.
7. Big Web and TJ have 4, and I, the GOAT, have 2.
Have 2. Yeah, 7 through 11 weeks. I'll I'll pat myself on the
Yeah.
back once.
It's getting close to a clinch.
And as a reminder,
Yeah, it's getting close to a
we'll
clinch.
pick the playoff games all the way through to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
So
Yes,
as we
yeah.
go over the pick standings, Hessler's kicking everyone's ass still.
Yeah,
and
let's,
that's that.
let's take
Marky
a-
Mark.
Let's, I'll pull it up and
You'll
take
pull it up.
a look at the standings here in the BOTB football.
I don't know
pick'em.
how he did last
If
week,
you
but
are-
Hessler is running away with it.
If you are in the BOTB football pick, and make sure to get your picks in today before the noon games kick off. Yeah, Hessler is at 94. He had an 8 spot last week. Wedwick had the highest, was tied for the highest last week with 11. Allison and Laura also had 11 last week in week 11. So shout out to them. And then Jake is in 3rd. TJ's in 4th at 87. Tally 5th, Sherp 6th. And then down the board, I'm in 10th with 80. Scroll all the way down. You see Zook in 17th with 77.
There you go.
And then way down, froze on me there.
I'm on there somewhere.
And then down one, only a point back behind Zook is
See?
Big Web in 19th place.
I've missed some Thursday picks too, so I'm getting free L's, handing out free L's.
I tell you what, I cannot for the life of me win Thursday night football. I
tough.
had the Texans this week. It was 3.5. The Texans are driving late. They don't need to score, but I'm like, just kick a field goal
Yeah.
to cover. Come
no,
on.
No,
like,
they don't think that way. They're
like
not
no.
yeah,
no.
that annoyed me too.
The Colts have been
Billy O.
It seems like the Colts have been covering fairly regularly.
Yeah.
I mean, even with Jagoat being there.
That was the old half point backdoor.
Right, I just
You just kinda gotta-
sneak attack. But
you just
hey,
gotta kinda take it for what it
at
is.
At least DeAndre Hopkins showed up for my fantasy team finally with 2 touchdowns. Except for in one of my other leagues, I was going against them, so that kind of sucked.
Alrighty, should we get TJ on the phone,
yeah,
boys?
let's,
Get him on
let's
there.
get TJ on the old dial up.
Alrighty, he said he was going out to breakfast, so
Okay.
we're gonna give him a ringy ding. And we have some hashtag graphics to put up. when
Oh
he-
yeah,
when
we
he
do. I'll
answers.
get the.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear us?
Yeah, we got you. What's up, buddy?
There we go.
How's it going? I don't know. I don't know if you're. Have you been watching on your computer at all before we called you?
No, of course I have.
So do you see
Going
do you see the graphic we just threw up there?
No, would you put? What'd you put
You'll
pic-
see.
you'll-
You'll see it
you'll-
eventually.
you'll-
Let me
We stepped our game up and we got you a nice little portrait to demonstrate to our audience who's on the phone.
Well-
it's lovely.
Let me tell you something. Even when I get up after a long night of drinking, I still look like a snack. So you're all welcome.
Just looking like a snack out there.
So TJ, first of all, before we get to your picks, man, I gotta ask, how was your night last night?
Well, boys, it lived up to the hype. It was a great time. We got on the party bus. Of course, our great friends Ryan and Brittany got married. Congratulations to them. And us plus ones, I mean, the ones that weren't at the wedding party still got to go on the bus. And, it's one of those buses where you didn't know a ton of people. You got to sit there and make friends. And I pull all these people together and say, look, we're playing this game called Cheers to the Governor. And by, about 2 hours later, we're all hammered. So it was just a great time. It's just
Cheers to the
great
governor.
You
Americans.
brought them all together.
Cheers to the governor.
I remember
Get 'em all
playing that
together.
one, TJ. I don't know, Nick or Big Web, did you guys ever play
oh
that
yeah,
one?
for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
of
suckered me in on it not too long ago.
It's
yeah.
always a regular with the Webbers. Kendall, Laura, TJ, and I played it when we went out before Kendall went back to Butler. And
Oh,
so,
I got
Played
you.
in Florida, too.
Yeah,
Florida we played it.
it resulted
So-
in Kendall and I having like race back and forth to across the street or something. It was wild.
We played it in Florida, and they had another one at TJ's wedding reception. They had me out in the middle of the dance floor, and they played this Thunderstruck chugging game, and I didn't have
yeah.
a drink.
Oh, no.
People are handing me like hard alcohol. Thunderstruck, I'm chugging it. Please give me a
You get
beer
stuck in a
somewhere.
guitar solo, you're in trouble. That's for sure.
So TJ, if I remember that game correctly, it's like a whole ranking system. Like you're either the governor or his assistant, and then isn't the bottom person called the asshole?
So no, that is a
That's
different
Nick.
game. That game is
That's
called
a,
Asshole.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's what I
that's a
thought.
different game. Cheers
'Cause
to the cheers
we
to the
played
governors.
asshole.
Yo, go ahead.
This one's
TJ
this
can
one's
describe.
different. It's way easier. Where literally you're in a circle. You count 1 to 21 in order. The first rule is that 7 and 14
Oh, that's
are
right.
switched.
I remember
Yeah.
now.
And then every time you get to 21,
Make
you
a
make
new
a new
rule.
rule. It's like Simon says. You have, or what's that game that you have to remember all the the different colors in an order.
Uh-huh.
Or something.
Yeah.
it's the same idea, but you throw in actions and words and you switch numbers. It gets really, really
Right.
fun. Of
Yeah.
course, you get drunker as it goes, so it gets tougher and tougher. It's fun.
TJ, I tell you what, ever since we put this graphic on it, I mean, viewers are just fleeing the live feed left and right. I mean, we're just dropping down like flies having this
Well,
picture.
that's what happens. That's what happens when you put up an underwear model on the screen. That's what happens when people want to flock and see the good-looking people. So you're all
Sport
welcome.
coat and Under Armour pants.
I mean, let's just
Hello? You still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes,
we got
we can hear. Let's just zoom in on this picture here a little bit for a second. Might take a minute for people to see. But you got TJ. You're rocking the blazer, clearly from the night before with the white undershirt on, and you got was that lettuce? That lettuce on your
Lettuce and
shirt?
a little ketchup or
A little
something.
ketchup? Did you have a little
Yeah.
White Castle at late night?
No, free ads. We got a little Jack in the Box taco action last
There
night.
it is.
in the
There it is. Taco
Jack and the
sauce.
Bee.
J and the B
If you
taco.
follow
but-
me, if you follow me on Snapchat, the wife and I were eating tacos in bed.
yeah,
Laura
you
put it
sent
up
me
on our story.
you sent me a Snapchat from your hotel room bed. I don't want to see that, TJ.
Yeah, I was about to say we need to keep it rated G on here.
This
Yeah,
is this
well,
is this
well,
is
we
a
had-
family
we had
program.
It was one of those times you wake up and you kind of look yourself in the mirror and you go, God, I still look great, but why is there lettuce on my cheek? You know. So it's just one of those things. It was one of them nights. It was lived up to the hype, though. That's for sure.
You lost me after you and Laura and tacos in bed. I just turned my brain off.
Yeah.
So TJ, how do you
I
want to do
gotcha.
this? Do you want to rapid fire do all your picks, or do you want to hang out for the whole show picks? I know that you had to go get some syrupy waffles.
Yeah. It depends. I mean, I don't want to take away the great music from you boys, but if you want to keep me on, I can stick around.
Alrighty, we'll keep you on then. Let's go through the picks. And first up, we have. Let me pull them up here, Nick. Do you get the graphics up?
I'll get them.
Okay.
I'll get 'em.
Stall for a
TJ,
second.
we're doing great.
Stall for a second.
We are doing fine. There's nothing to worry about. The
Yeah. Oh, you
first
guys-
pick.
Yeah,
Killing.
what's the first game that we're picking here?
First game we're picking is Carolina at New Orleans. Carolina is minus 9.5. They opened at 9.5 on CBS. They are now
Saints are minus 9.5.
Saints are minus 9.5. Saints are now minus 10 as it currently stands right now. So TJ, who do you got in that game?
Man, I tell you what, I really like New Orleans, but that's a huge number. Carolina's a good football team, and I'm always on the side of the team that gets absolutely wrecked the week before that they're going to come back and win the next game or have a really close contest. So I don't think they're going to win. I think the Saints will win this game, but 10 points. I think McCaffrey will be able to move the ball on him a little bit. Kyle Allen's been really good out of the pocket this season. And I think when you just put up a dud like you did against the Atlanta Falcons, you have to come back swinging. So I'm going to take Carolina. It's too many points.
Yeah, I agree with you, and we'll go in order of the helmets here this week since TJ's on the phone.
TJ threw me off there.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you got Saints picked right now, TJ. He's
Yeah.
gonna switch it.
I
I'm with you,
changed my
TJ.
pick.
I am with you.
It's cheap.
I like Carolina. It's one of my favorite games this week for the reasons you mentioned, TJ. Historically, whenever an NFL franchise just gets absolutely mollywopped, especially to a
Mollywopped.
team that they should have beaten in the
Mollywopped.
Falcons last week, I think that Carolina's going to bounce back big time. Especially, it gets you up to that even 10 from 9.5, so that even if they do lose by 10, you're still pushing it. So I love Carolina. I don't know how that loses this week.
Big Web.
Well, gentlemen, I don't know about the word love, but I'm liking Carolina here.
I love Carolina.
He loves them. He loves them, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you what, 2 weeks ago, the Saints got shit-railed by the Falcons.
Shit, rail. There's Zook's word.
Last week, Carolina got schmidt-railed by the Falcons
I'm
as
on
well.
the mollywopped now.
So,
That's my new
and he's
thing.
mollywopping now on us. But,
I like it.
basically, what's going on is, like Wild Bill told me here at Cafe Telegraph last week, he goes, Tony, you got to turn the page. If a team does very bad or a good football team still, turn the page. They had a bad week. So I'm going with Wild Bill. I'm taking Carolina, plus the points. TJ's right. Too many points.
Wow. Looks like you boys are going to be leaving me on an island here. I love to see it. I'm wearing the Alvin Kamara jersey, as you can see. New Orleans has been
Nobody cares.
New
Nobody
Orleans has been solid.
cares.
And when you're the king, you're a king for the reason, gentlemen. And I have the crown. I got the New Orleans Saints jersey on. I love New Orleans. I love Drew Brees. Alvin Kamara needs to come back, and he needs to have a big game, and this is where he's going to do it. So I am going to take the New Orleans Saints, and I'm going to win this one. Hopefully.
The Gipper.
Notice I'm not guaranteeing anything, and notice I did not use the word easy. I'm saying hopefully.
Yeah,
so
that's always big.
It's a hopeful.
Hopefully that will help me win this one.
Well,
And
We'll
I
have
hope
to-
you don't get mollywhacked.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't get mollywhacked on this one, whatever the heck that means.
All righty, so the next game up, we got the Dallas Cowboys at the New England Patriots. I went back and forth a little bit on this one. The New England Patriots are at home in Foxborough, -6. TJ, what do you got in that one?
Man, I tell you what, I also went back and forth, not because I like Dallas, but in our pick 4, I want to make sure I can really get something going. And I was on New England, then I was off them, then I'm back on them and off them. I finally decided right before the 11 o'clock deadline to hit the New England Patriots -6.5 on a CBS pool. It's a good game, and I just think Dallas is super overrated. I know what Dak's been able to do, but everybody is just hyping them up and how good Dallas is. How they beat bad football teams. They don't beat good football teams. And in this situation, the 6.5 is scary, but I believe in Tom Brady today. I think the Patriots move the football a lot. They're at home. I think this is going to be a 14-point shellacking of the Dallas Cowboys. I think they struggle big time.
Shellacking.
Got Pats big
I
time
think it's
today.
shellacking,
Yeah.
TJ. I think the word is shellacking.
Yeah, TJ, I think they're going to shellac them. I think they're going to mollywop them. I think they're going to do all of the above. I'm with you. I think the Cowboys have a much better roster than the Patriots, but I just can't take Jason Garrett over Bill Belichick. And to your point, it feels like they should be so much better, and yet every time you watch them on Sunday, they leave something to be desired. And I know that it's a lot of points here at -6, but it's still less than a touchdown. And I can't bet against the Pats with less than a touchdown. I think they'll win this thing by 7, maybe 10 going away. I think that their defense can shut down the run game. And although Dak Prescott is playing much better this season, their secondary is outstanding too. So leave it to Bill Belichick to outcoach Jason Garrett. That's got to be like the lock of the century. Oh, call failed. Alrighty.
We lost TJ. Got to call him back. Get him back on the line.
Okay. Big Web, Nick, who's going next?
Big Web will go next.
I will. So,
I'll
have you
call him
seen
back.
the weather, boys? Have you seen the weather? Foxborough,
Rain.
raining, 46 degrees, 80% chance of rain at 5 o'clock. I think it's a 3 o'clock tilt. Am I correct? I think it is 3 o'clock.
3:25 is the start time. TJ, you there?
Yeah, I cut out there. I don't know what happened.
It's all good.
No problem. So, we're talking Foxborough rain. I'm going to go with Dallas here.
Big Web, you're our weather guy.
Yes, I am.
I mean,
a freaking
honest-
meteorologist.
honestly, that's important, though. There's a lot of games where weather becomes a
This
factor.
time of year,
and not
boys.
a lot of people look at the weather.
That's
when,
why I
when they're-
rely
when
on
they're
Big
making
Web.
it.
I
That's right.
rely on
Picks.
you for this.
So basically, I see Dallas with a more of a solid running game than the Patriots. So I like the ground game here in the weather. It's going to be a little chilly, a little wet. There goes T Webb again.
There goes T. Webb.
So no, I'll take Dallas here plus the points. Plus also when you take a look at New England's schedule. Beginning of the year, they were playing soft teams. That's why they got all those defensive stats. That's why they only gave up 60 points in their first 10 games. But they're starting to play tough part of the schedule right now. Give me Dallas.
Yeah, this one's it's a tricky one. Like you said, rain. How much rain do we have? Is it a lot of rain? Is it like downpour?
60%, 80%. This is late today. It's cold.
it's
going
going to be raining in other
gonna be raining.
words.
And what's the spread as look now?
-6 for the Pats.
-6 for the Patriots. Man, I wish I had a Patriots fan here to tell me whether or not to pick this game. I've been picking the Patriots all season, and I like the Patriots to cover in this one. So I'm also going to go with New England. They haven't really done me wrong yet, and Big Web makes a great point about the run game. Who has a better run game? Well, Zeke Elliott. I mean, it's hard to stop, and so Dallas is definitely going to be running the ball a ton in this game. It's going to be a heavy workload for Zeke, but New England does have the number 1 defense in the league this year, and so look for them to fly all over the field. New England plays well at home too, and they always game plan for things like this better than any other team in the league, and so I've been riding the Patriots this season. Feel a little weary leaving Big Web out on an island because I do like the Cowboys a lot this game. But I'm going to go ahead and do it, and I'm going to pick the Patriots as well to cover.
Yeah, I thought we'd maybe be 2-2 on this, but
wow.
obviously the Patriots' love runs deep on this podcast. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers at the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers are 3-point favorites. This game probably going to go a long way into determining seeding in the NFC playoffs. TJ, what do you got?
You got to turn them up.
Oh, we got to turn him up. TJ.
Hello. Testing.
There you are. There you are. We have you.
Mayday.
We have you, TJ. We have you. You got Green Bay and Frisco. Had you turned down. Didn't want the phone ring again.
Gotcha. No, I can still hear you, boys.
Cool.
I'm going to go ahead and go with the Packers. So I think this is going to be a great football game. It may push. It may absolutely push. But I think it'll be a good one. I think the fact that if it was in Lambeau, I don't think the Packers would just absolutely destroy them, but I think it would be a pretty handedly.
TJ, not a word.
And
You're hungover.
now that it's in Cali, I have a good feeling that the 49ers are going to come to play. However, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to, get his team back on it after they had that slice of humble pie after the Chargers loss. They beat the Panthers pretty well. They got to bye a week to reset.
Is that a Thanksgiving dish, humble pie?
Humble pie. That's right.
Yes, it is. With whipped cream.
With whipped cream, extra whipped cream.
Hell yeah. With
Zook,
Cool Whip.
Zook, what are you thinking?
I got to roll with my Packers in this one. And typically, I feel like I'm more anti-Packers when it comes to my picks.
Normally you hedge your bets. And
Yes.
normally you're like,
yes.
I'll root for them, but I'll pick against them.
Right.
That way, whatever happens, either I'm happy and, I lose my league, but my team won, so that's good.
Yeah.
Or, my team sucks, but hey, at least I'm beating, Big Web, Zook, and or Big Web, Nick, and TJ.
In generally too, I'm just a little bit negative or cynical when it comes to my own teams.
Of course.
I never have that much
Gotta
confidence in Michigan, and I never have that much confidence in the Packers. I have more confidence in the Packers, but I feel like this is really a good spot for them. Off of a bye, they are really playing very good football, and I honestly think that they match up pretty well against the 49ers. They've struggled against the run early on in the season, but they've corrected that a little bit. They're going to have their work cut out for them with Kyle Shanahan. Tevin Coleman, if DFS, I think would be a pretty good play, honestly.
For sure.
But I don't think that the 49ers are going to be able to get much done against them through the air. Jimmy G has looked he's looked okay, but I think that they're very, very beatable. And the Packers have the offensive line to, I think, at least contain the combination of the Packers' offensive line being serviceable and Aaron Rodgers' ability to move the pocket and get outside of the pocket and run away from Bosa and those big uglies up front, I think will go a long way in this game. Also, you got to know Aaron Rodgers is coming to play.
Yep.
The bad man is coming.
The
It's
bad
prime
man,
time.
The bad man's coming.
He's going back to his
time.
There you go.
Dimes.
He's going back to his home state of California, and he wants to put on a show for the fam. So I like the Packers here +3. I think they're going to win outright.
Big Web, what you got?
Last week.
You on your Niners? You like your Niners?
I love the Niners, but last week
Not so
the
fast, my friend.
Cardinals went up there and played them, and the Cardinals had a great recipe. They blitzed them. They blitzed Garofalo, and they put him into turnover.
Garofalo? You want to try again?
That's my guy.
Oh, boy.
That's my
Add
guy.
that. Save that time.
Jimmy
TJ from the
Garofalo.
clouds.
They blitzed him, and they put him in turnover situations. I think Packers are going to do the exact same thing. They're going to take the same game plan. They're going to blitz them not only to disrupt the pass, but to disrupt the run. When Frisco has time to get set up and get all their blockers out front, they got a stronger running game. When they're blitzing in there, they can also surprise them and stop the run before it gets going. So I like Green Bay. Give me Green Bay +3, and I'm going to tease the hell out of them.
Well, in Big Web, I don't know if you know this, but the defensive coordinator for Green Bay, Mike Pettin, is blitz heavy. Blitz is some of the at the highest rates that we
they're
have
one of
in
the
the
best
NFL.
blitzing defenses in the league.
Yeah, I think that they're going to be able to give Jimmy G some trouble.
Yep.
This is where I think, and I forgot to do my TJ side before. I really don't like clean sweeps, guys. I think this
That's
is one of.
pretty good, Nick.
I think this
That
is,
was pretty good.
I think this is one of those games where San Francisco heading into the season, and all season we've seen them undefeated. They're undefeated, then they lose one. And this is another one of those games that's a tough matchup for them. Even though they are playing at home, even though Nick Bosa had a heck of a season for the Niners, and that Niners D really likes to get after the quarterback. But the Niners D likes to get after bad quarterbacks. The Niners D going up against good quarterbacks might have some success, but it is Aaron Rodgers. It is primetime football, and he just tears tears the roof off it, tears the football off. I don't know what the phrase really
Tears
is.
the
Tears
roof off, I
something.
think
He
works.
just
There's a hammy.
yeah, this is just where he'll go in and he'll have like a nice 4-touchdown performance, and everybody will be like, "Oh, but I was all over the Niners all season long. They're so good." No, this is where
Nobody talks like that.
this is where teams come
Cali
in.
kids
This
do.
is where it's late in the season. This is where you figure out what you're made of before the playoffs, and it's a tough matchup. It's a good matchup. It's
gonna be a great game.
It's going to be an awesome game, and thankfully they put this one on in prime time on Sunday Night
They got this
Football.
right,
And
yes.
but I mean, +3 on the road. I mean, I think they'll win the game outright. But even if they don't, I mean, I still think they cover that 3 at least.
That makes me nervous. I don't
it
like
should.
when
It
I like
should.
my
It
team and then
should.
everybody else likes my
Yeah,
team.
yeah, but like I said, it's a clean sweep, so it doesn't matter win or lose. This game means nothing for this league.
Alrighty, so
Sounds like
we
Frisco
move
wins by
on.
21.
We move on to our final of the 4 games before we get to the Toilet Bowl. We have the Ravens at the Rams on Monday night on ESPN. The Ravens are -3.5 on the road in the Coliseum. TJ, what say you?
What?
Rams suck. Absolutely suck. They're garbage. Give me the Ravens. I really have nothing else to say. Lamar Jackson's a freak of nature. He's unbelievable. I mean, nobody can stop him. He's probably the best all-around athlete in the NFL. I mean, just that guy amazes me every week. He's so good. Can't stop him. The Rams' defense has been hit or miss. The offense has been really bad. So I got to go ahead and go with the Ravens here. 3.5 is a very low number for the way the Rams have been playing. And boys, real quick before I send it off to Zook, I got a fantasy question for you because I've been sitting
Absolutely.
here.
We love your fantasy questions, TJ.
The Cooper Cup sweepstakes. I've had him all year. He's been awesome. But last 2 weeks he had 0 2 weeks ago, and he had like 7 last week. He's projected 13, but I got DK Metcalf sitting there on my bench. Lockett's playing, but he's a little banged up. So do I start Cup or do I start Lockett?
I would start Cup.
I would start Lockett.
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have Lockett. He has Metcalf.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
no, I meant
Sorry. Yes. I would start Cup because I think even though Lockett is banged up, that he's going to play and get most of the attention. Metcalf is one of those guys where he has played well.
Real boomer bust, right?
Yeah, real boomer bust, exactly. And I don't
Plus-
think he's getting more than one touchdown regardless. What do you got?
Weather report.
Weather report. Here we go. Ding, ding, ding,
ding,
ding, ding.
Philadelphia, 39 degrees, mixed rain and snow.
Mixed-
So that's why I would go with
Mixed rain and snow. That you heard it here first. Phil, and who's in that Philadelphia game? Philly and Seattle.
Seattle, yeah.
Bench all your Philadelphia and all your Seattle receivers now and put Chris
So
Carson
don't
and
do
Jordan Howard.
Metcalf. Go with
And play Miles Sanders too. That's a run all day long. They ain't throwing the ball at all in that game.
See, I'm also benching Sanders because I have Barkley and Ingram can't start. You know what I mean? So
Emmanuel Sanders?
It's like
Oh,
no,
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
See, I have Miles
So-
Sanders. I think I'm sitting him this week.
So am I. That's what I mean. I can't start him over Ingram or Saquon. It can't
Oh
happen.
no
Yeah.
way.
I mean,
no
I have
way.
Nick Chubb, and I got to
If you're
see.
that blessed to have both those guys, no way you should do that.
I'm still 5-6 somehow.
Hashtag blessed.
Ingram's
Well,
going to have a day.
yeah, and TJ, also you had Nick help you out with another little fantasy dilemma earlier this week with
You
that
didn't
the
want to
tight
give
end
me a
position.
shout out for that.
That was big. We sat Darren Fells. He got 3.4. So thank you. And I will never say thank you to Nick. I'd like to thank
Yep.
the panel for their help.
Yep.
I'd like to thank the
That's-
Academy.
That's how it goes. But yeah, that's a fantasy gold mine right there. If you're looking for a tight end on the waiver wire, said it during the midweek show. Ryan Griffin, tight end, New York Jets, just signed a big extension with them. Chris Herndon on the IR. Like I've said all season long, Sam Darnold's favorite target was Chris Herndon. Didn't get to use him quite a bit this year, but still loves the tight end position. So Ryan Griffin.
That's how I say it.
Griffin, clip that one off, is available on your waiver wire. I guarantee nobody has him on their roster. So if you're like me, Hunter Henry's on bye, go pick up Ryan Griffin and watch him get you a lot of points.
So here's my question. We were talking about Miles Sanders, right? Here's my question to you guys. I got Nick Chubb and I got Bo Scarborough over Miles Sanders.
TJ
right now.
loves Bo Scarborough. He said that on the line.
It's a cool name.
I played Scarborough. I'm playing Scarborough right now over Miles.
Good. Need to. He's going to get a ton of carries, probably like 18 carries.
And they're playing the
at least.
Redskins.
They're playing the Redskins, yeah.
And they're
Stafford's
playing the
hurt. They need
Skins.
to run the football.
Yeah.
So Stafford's hurt. Driscoll did all right last week, but Scarborough's the guy.
All right,
Alrighty.
Zook, what are you thinking in the back to the picks then? Baltimore and the Rams, who are you taking in this one?
I got the Ravens for the reasons TJ mentioned. There's not a whole lot of analysis. They're just the better football team in this game. I think that the Rams have taken a step back. They don't really know what to do now that they can't run the football.
Yeah.
Now that Todd Gurley isn't the same guy, you're seeing Sean McVay kind of go through some struggles, and Jared Goff. You know, he was maybe a little underrated when we all thought he was a giant bust with Jeff Fisher. Then I think maybe he became a little overrated when he got the extension because he had the run game going, so everything was just wide open that he was throwing, making his job very easy. And now he's kind of back to sucking. So I think he's somewhere in the middle, but I don't think he is maybe as elite as we were once led to believe. He's certainly not on the same level as Carson Wentz, Patty Mahomes, some of these other guys.
Yeah. Big Web?
Speaking of sucking, the Rams' offensive line is the issue here. I mean, they can't get anything done. They can't protect their quarterback. They can't block for Gurley. And Baltimore's just way too strong, like TJ said. I think they're going to shit rail them. I think Baltimore's going to just run away from the Rams here. The Rams are done. Thank you.
The Rams are done. Real quick before I get to mine, we got another fantasy question on the line from Marcos. PPR flex, Gallup, Geis, Scarborough, or Gabriel? So looks like PPR flex, Gallup, Geis, Scarborough, or Gabriel. I'm leaning towards
Scarborough.
Yeah, I would.
Only one guy?
I believe it's one guy. PPR flex. Four options. Definitely not Gabriel. Gallup,
No.
Geis, I don't trust Geis enough. And then Gallup. Gallup's in the bad weather. So Marcos, I would go with Scarborough on this one. TJ already said Scarborough. They're playing the Redskins again. That's going to be a big game for him. I feel like they're going to move to running the ball more than they have passing because Stafford's still out.
Yeah,
Correct,
Stafford's still out. They got a backup
is he
quarterback
IR'd?
in.
Is he IR'd? Is he done for the year?
No, but he should
No,
be. I mean, he's got like a
he's week by
broken
week.
back.
Broken back, bones, something.
It's ugly.
Yeah, so I would definitely go with Scarborough there. My pick for the Ravens and Rams again.
He hates having clean sweep.
I hate having clean sweeps, but it just makes sense for the Ravens.
I don't do that.
Yes, you do. You literally do it every single time.
I don't do it that loud.
The Ravens are the better football team, and honestly, we should probably be picking a different game because we are going all in on Baltimore. But I thought maybe some people like the Rams.
What's a primetime game?
Yeah, run game. Right, just has not been the same this year with Gurley in that backfield. The wide receivers have been fine. I mean, Cooper Kupp's had some big games, but they've been too inconsistent. Robert Woods, I haven't checked yet if he's back with the team or not. Left the team for personal reasons. So if they're without him, just even makes it harder on their offense to score points. Their defense is good, but Lamar Jackson is the real deal, and Baltimore, I think, has a shot at not only winning this game, not only winning their division, but possibly winning the Super Bowl as well. They look like the best team in football right now besides the Patriots, and I think they'll get this one done easy.
Alrighty, we move on to our Toilet Bowl game of the week.
Toilet Bowl game of the week.
It is the Steel Curtain going on the road to take on the Cincinnati Bungholes. The Bengals are plus 6.5 at home. The winless Bungholes. TJ, who do you got?
Man, what is the number at now, you said?
It is 6.5.
God, I hate both these teams. And especially now James Conner's out today. Juju's out today. Mason Rudolph is coming off almost a concussion, basically. So, God, I guess I'll take the Steelers. I really don't care. This is just going to be a terrible football game. The only reason I think Dalton's still hurt, correct?
What was your question? Sorry.
Who?
Dalton's still out, correct?
Yeah, Finley's
starting.
going to start.
Okay, so that's the reason I'm taking the Steelers. I mean, it's not a huge number, I guess, but I don't know. You flip a coin on this game and go watch something else.
Watch something else.
I agree about this being one of the most unwatchable football games of the year. I think we've done worse here in our awesome toilet bowl game, but this is certainly up there. Because of that, TJ, I go the other way. I'm just gonna take the Bengals plus the points. They've been staying in some games. Lost 17-10 on the road, I believe, against the Raiders last week, who I think actually can't believe I'm saying this. I think they might be better than the Steelers. So you get to go against a worse team, in my opinion. Plus, you get the home field advantage. I'm not going to go as far as to say that I think they'll win, but I think that they are going to play inspired to get off the schneid and win a football game. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing comes down to the very, very last play.
Real quick, before Dad goes, did you guys hear about that guy? Apparently, I heard from our buddy Tolly, loyal listener of the show. That
Loyal.
I know where you're going with this.
From Cincinnati, who apparently said he's not going to leave his roof until they win a football game.
Nice.
And they have not won
The
yet.
picture
Oh,
is
that's
so
good.
the picture is so great, TJ. Did you see the picture? Did Tolly just tell you about it?
No, I just heard the story. I didn't see the
The
picture.
picture is awesome. It's on the newscast. It's some overweight dude in some Cincy Zubas, and he's sitting there in his messy ass living room, and it says "Man, to stay on roof another week."
That's fantastic.
We should buy that dude a shingle coat, man. He's going to need it. Wow.
Big Web, what are you thinking in here in this game?
I'll tell you what, we talked earlier about Cincinnati. The best part of their game right now is the run game, but Pittsburgh's still got a pretty good run defense. So although it's very, very ugly, bet the under and take Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go with Zook on this one. I think the Bengals have done a better job than a lot of people are giving them credit for. Staying close in games, and which is why I really like the Bengals to cover this game. I don't think that they're gonna. Again, I don't think they're gonna win this game. Sorry to the guy that's on the roof, and he's gonna be.
It's getting cold.
He's gonna be up there another week or so, but.
Sorry. to the guy.
Cincinnati and Joe Mixon, they have something there in Joe Mixon. Like I said, they don't have anything in quarterback, and their wide receivers are banged up, but they have something there in Joe Mixon, and he is able to keep them in games. He's had some bounce-back weeks, especially, like I said, if you're a fantasy owner, I would play Joe Mixon the rest of the season because he's going to get a ton of carries since they're not going to be passing the ball a whole lot. And so in this one, I like the Bengals. Not going to leave anybody out on an island here on this one. Like that, this one is a split.
Yeah, this will be a big game for the panel, which sucks because it's the toilet bowl game, and I don't want to have anything invested in it. But
Correct.
on to our dogs. TJ, who do you got for your underdog of the week?
So I'm not sure what numbers you guys have.
I can relay them to you. I got it pulled up.
Okay, I'm taking Seattle. The
Seattle
weather is
-2.
A little bit concerning, but they're -2 now. They moved.
-2. Yep.
Oh, that would not be an underdog then. Hold on a second.
That's not a dog anymore. I had the same thought.
No, Seattle's -2.
Yeah, at least. Well, I'm looking at Bovada, not Odd Shark.
Yeah, I know. An Odd Shark, it was +1 for Philly being a home team. So
Okay, well, hold on. Give me a second.
Let me check the cash cow here. Hold on.
you're good. Anybody else?
Shout out to our great sponsors. Oh, I know who I'm taking. I'm taking Tampa Bay +3. I think that the Atlanta train is it's all hype. I think they've had 2 good weeks. Defense will get back to what they're usually doing, giving up scores. Big day for Jameis Winston. I'll take.
How many
Tampa +3.
interceptions?
Well, you get an extra point because they're +4.
How many interceptions
Nice.
do you think famous Jameis is going to throw in this game, TJ?
1, and that's all you need. If he throws 1, you're going to win by a lot.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. I like how 1 was like a compliment.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah,
one, just
one,
one.
like,
He's only throwing
Like,
one
he's
today.
guaranteed. He's
seller.
guaranteed
He gets 3,
to
that's a normal
throw.
Jameis.
He's guaranteed to throw at least one. So let's Zook. What do you got?
All right, so for my underdog pick of the week.
Also, somebody do pick 4.
It's
I don't know
gonna
if we
be-
did pick 4 or not yet.
Oh yeah, we got to.
We're
Yeah,
done.
we got to lock that in.
We already lost.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
11
Anywho,
o'clock.
for my underdog, I'm taking a page out of TJ's book this week, and I'll show you what that means when we get to our locks. But I'm gonna dog Carolina, and I said when we let
yeah.
off the show.
I see where you're going with
It was
this.
one of my favorite games this week.
What's the
I
mascot, the
love.
Panthers?
Yeah, the Panthers. There you go. I love them bouncing back this week in the Dome. They won't have to worry about the weather. They can let McCaffrey run wild and get him back on track after a couple of ugly weeks. Not so ugly in the loss to the Packers, but just disgusting performance against the Falcons. Me and TJ about vomited right here in Cafe T with the performance we saw last weekend. So I think they'll get back on track this week.
Right on. Big Web, who do you like as your dog of the week?
TJ, I had the same exact thought as you. Seattle, absolutely. But
I was thinking the same. I was thinking the same thing. So I'm scrambling here too.
They're not a dog right now. It's different. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go with Green Bay plus the 3.
There you go.
Because I like that game a lot.
Good one.
As we talked earlier, no need to say it again, but Green Bay is going to make it happen out there. Give me Green Bay.
All right, you like the Packers. I see, yeah, and I was also going to go – I was also on that Seattle train when they were +1. Unfortunate that line is moving, so I got to pick a new team here. It might just be like a wild card. Who should I go with? Zook, can look up the Jets line for me.
Jets are +3, I believe. Let me confirm that. They're +3 at home against the Raiders.
They are +3 at home against the Raiders. Big Web, any weather reports from New York?
New York is raining. Hard rain.
Hard rain in New York.
New York is raining. Hard rain.
I'm gonna gamble. And do it. I'm gonna take the Jets +3.
One little tidbit about the Jets. We talked about this last week. Jets, one of the best run defenses in football. What do the Oakland Raiders do? They run it with Josh Jacobs. Yep. They shouldn't be able to do that today. Plus, they're on the road. Can Derek Carr get it done?
42 degrees. Okay.
Heavy. They're
heavy
using the word
rain.
heavy.
They're using the word heavy rain. They got Lev Bell back there. Plus, they got Ryan Griffin at tight end. He's got to score at least a touchdown for me. Sam Darnold. Moving the ball, little screen passes back and forth. Look for the Jets D to hold.
Splish, splash.
Splish, splash, patty whack. Nick's going to win this one.
All right, TJ. On to the locks.
Nice.
TJ, who do you got for your lock?
Well, bouncing off that, I love to see it. I'm taking Oakland as my lock.
Nice.
I love it. I love the Josh Jacobs against New York. Again, the Jets have been a hot team last 2 weeks. But another hot team. It's been close games, but it's been John Gruden's Raiders.
I love the fact that we're going to be rooting against each other in this game, man. This is going to be good. When is this game? Is this a nooner?
This is a nooner.
It's a nooner.
Now I will say the Raiders are, I believe, 1-3 on the road.
TJ's going to be eating bacon and eggs.
Those last 3 wins all been at home, so that's the only thing.
Okay.
I like them today.
So TJ, you think they will be able to run the ball?
Correct. Yeah, I mean, I think they'll get the job done. I think with the weather, Darnold's going to struggle, and they don't have a great run game.
Yeah.
I mean, Le'Veon's just not the same Bell. It's not the same guy
He's not. Isn't that crazy, though, that Bell, Gordon, and Gurley are all not the same running backs that they were a year ago? I mean, granted, some had holdouts and stuff like that, but the fact that they're nowhere near their themselves from a year or 2 years ago. What do you like?
I mean, off your point, I think it just goes to, and I'm not a big running backs guy. I wouldn't really pay him. I think it's more the line than anything else, and Gurley, of course, the injury. But for my lock of the week, I am tripling down on the Carolina Panthers. Coming off of a weekend in which they looked like absolute trash against the Falcons. I just love the line. In this house, we bet numbers. We do not bet teams, and I'm betting a number. I get Carolina in a dome. I know it's a Superdome, really good home field advantage for the Saints, but I get Carolina +10. So I just really love that line. And so I'm going to triple down on it and put my money where my mouth is.
Big Web, what do you like?
Lock of the week. When we look at locks, we look for a dominating team against a weakened team right now. Give me the Ravens against those Rams, and it's a lock. It's a no problem. Nice. It's a no-brainer.
Likes Baltimore. Likes Baltimore.
Loves
Baltimore them. Ravens. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, the Rams just have not shown. Been so inconsistent this year. I mean, we can't be happier about that being from St. Louis. Watching the Rams
we just hate to see it
fail. Like, I mean, that's just a tough one. That's a tough one. Let me double check what mine is. Carry the one. Okay, I like Detroit today. I am locking Detroit in this one.
Really?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you're crazy for that one.
You know who the quarterback is?
I am locking. Did you see him play last?
He had one good week.
He had one good week.
But Bo Scarborough, TJ.
But Bo Scarborough, yeah. I mean,
I know, but okay.
Dude, it's the Redskins. Redskins
are Bengals NFC version.
Locking a Staffordless Lions is always dangerous. Just let you know.
It is, but that's what
4.5 too.
Once again, I have the crown for a reason. I'm a king. So until you guys have 7 crowns and are on top of the board,
Okay.
you can't talk.
Couple weeks from now.
You can't talk any trash. A couple weeks from now. Big Web's been saying that since week 8. Up.
Still early.
We're only halfway.
Still early.
Still early. Got plenty of time.
Wild card round.
got-
Hey, it's still early.
I might clinch it this week in terms of crowns. So just look out, boys.
Could happen.
That's gonna do it.
Hey,
for,
I just want to know if the Lions lock is going to be easy.
I
I don't think you've said easy once this week.
No, he's not going. He's not going to jinx himself.
No comment. No,
No comment.
comment
Hey,
before.
Nick, remember that week you went 0-7? Just trying to humble you.
I don't think I ever went 0-7. I don't remember that. Before we get to
I
Big
have video
Web's
proof. Check out our YouTube
big
page.
shut up, TJ. Before we get to Big Web's best bet of the week, Marcos got one more fantasy question. What about defense for the Browns or the Bears? Which defense should he put in his lineup, Browns or the Bears?
I think they're both pretty good options. I would probably say,
Browns for sure.
Browns are
man.
against
Yeah.
Miami.
Saquon going against the Bears.
Yeah.
yeah, I was leaning towards Browns too.
Who are the Bears playing?
Saquon.
Bears are playing at home
Yeah.
against the Giants.
Yeah.
I like the Browns. Here, I'll tell you this. I did all routes for the Dolphins last week, and their offense looked like garbage.
I mean,
so yeah, do the Browns defense.
I would stay away from anything with the Bears right now.
No Myles Garrett, though.
They just look like they just look
True.
look like a miserable football team all around. And I would stick with the Browns in this one, even though they're going to be without Myles Garrett.
and Ogunjobi.
Other comments on the line. Joe says Patriots by 21. So that's good that I know my Patriots guy, my Patriots expert, is high on the Patriots this week. Grandma says Grandpa always checks the weather. Grandpa's a smart guy right there. My Uncle Bob is also very good at picking. He is unreal at picking games. So I might have to take some of his advice.
Uncle Bob.
Uncle Bob.
He spells his name backwards, though.
Does he?
B-O-B. Sorry.
GG says go Bucks. I agree with TJ. Chucky is going to win. Who's Chucky?
That would be the Raiders coach.
Oh, there you go.
'Cause he
All
looks
righty,
like
are we ready for Big Web's
Yeah,
prognostication?
I was making sure we got all
okay.
all the comments covered because my computer died,
Boys,
so I had to check
gotta
the phone.
step away.
Yeah,
Love you.
thanks,
All right,
thanks, TJ.
TJ.
You got any
TJ.
parting words?
Listen to all my picks. I'm a genius. Nick's an idiot.
All right, TJ.
Good luck with that laundry.
Have fun today.
Bye.
Don't be too hungover. Bye. All right, there's TJ. He is off the
Alrighty.
books. Thanks for TJ.
TJ's off the
for
That,
board.
that was some strong work by him showing
Some
up.
strong work.
Yeah, he
on the phone, hungover as shit.
He rallied, much like we all have rallied when we had our flu game. We've all had a flu game.
Yeah, we
now.
all have had a flu game.
So we all finished strong. We nearly had a catastrophe earlier before the show, but Big Web came in clutch and did the duty and went and picked up the keys and got the thing. So we were missing a piece of equipment, so we almost weren't on camera this week.
I don't mind working a little OT.
But
for you guys.
that's what he does. All right, what's your big bet?
All right,
Big
gentlemen.
Web's best bet of the week.
So last week we had a chance to hit our teaser, but the Kansas City Chiefs did not cover on Monday Night Football on the over. So that was the only thing we were missing. So we were damn close again. We're down to $100 in the pot, but it's still there. It's still positive money, right?
Are we putting it all on?
We're gonna
Positive
piss it
money.
all away.
Yeah, there we
boys.
go. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
There you go.
let's do
I'm
it.
ready.
We're gonna do a $50
Don't beat the table.
5-team teaser. Buffalo Bills plus 3.5, Atlanta Falcons plus 3, Dallas Cowboys plus 12.5, Seattle Seahawks plus 5, Baltimore Ravens plus 3.5. That's a 7-point teaser, 5-way. 50 pays 175. We're doing that. That's locked in. And then we're going to do a $50 straight bet on those Baltimore Ravens, who I love this week, to cover it.
$50 straight on Baltimore plus 3.5. You took them
No,
as your
no,
lock.
no.
the
They're
Ravens.
minus
Minus
3.5
3.5.
on that bet.
That's
On that
right.
bet.
That's right.
But, yep.
Well,
Yep. So there you go.
I'm just going to hold on to this crown this week, and you guys can try to come get it from me next week. That's all my parting words of wisdom.
So
Good luck, Dick.
is that so? Those are your plays this week. We just got one teaser.
We have one 5-team teaser. We have one straight bet with
One
Baltimore.
All righty.
straight bet.
Well, if that's all,
that's it, man.
if that's all, I guess we'll just go ahead and sign off.
we
Where's
didn't
Christian
die.
at?
We didn't
Hey,
die.
Christian, can I get some
He's gotta
par
put-
fried wings?
He's got to put the order in
I need
on,
to-
on the
There you
air.
Par fried wings,
Every time.
hot on the wings.
On the wings.
Look at that.
Gotta
That-
love
that's
it.
A
Cafe
plus
Telegraph,
It's
man.
my new sign off.
Best food in town, coldest beer, coldest water. Thanks to STL Distillery, Kay Roberts, and Sarah Barron from Family Finance Mortgage. If you need to get a home, go check out Kay Roberts from Remax Gold, Sarah Barron, Family Finance Mortgage. They're do a fantastic job. Drink some STL Distillery Brew Vodka. Head over there to STL Distillery, 755 Freedoms Road, Suite B, St. Charles, Missouri, 63303. Tell them TJ Nick sent you, and or Brews on the Balcony, and you'll get a free tour and a free tasting. And then, hop on to Cafe Telegraph. They're open every day. They got great food, great cold drinks, and then
That was a fantastic ad read.
come watch football with us. We're here
Yeah,
all day.
come hang out with us, man. Eat some wings.
You still got a few weekends
some
left.
beer.
Peace.
We got gift cards to give away too
Yeah, gift cards.
for Cafe Telegraph. So we'll be doing some of that on the listener line. So be sure to share this post each week. Come back and hang out with us as we do it every week. And next week, TJ will be back. I think we're all here the rest of the way out through the end of the season. And
Not to interrupt you. Next week, we will not have the Sunday live
Oh,
show.
yeah,
we
yeah,
are
correct.
recording on Tuesday, I believe. So I would imagine it'd go up
well,
Wednesday.
Are we doing?
Where's Sunday and Tuesday?
No, we're doing addition. So we'll be here Sunday, but we're also doing a Thanksgiving show.
Yeah.
Recorded from the studio. So we'll still be here on Sunday, 10:30 to noon. But we're doing an additional show,
Gotcha.
which will be
Highlight the Thursday games.
Yeah, to highlight those Thursday games. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy holidays. Thanks for listening, and be sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok. We're not on Snapchat. At Balcony Brews Pod.
Had to get the TikTok plug.
314-877-8597 is the listener line. Be sure to leave your voicemails for Brewers on the Balcony, Bras on the Balcony on Wednesdays, or the BOTV football show.
All righty. See ya.
Adios.